Peace, family. What's good? We're back with another episode of the TrakWolf Godcast.
What up?
I'm your boy TrakBeatz. We got my motherfucking brother Cheno Bliss in the building with us as always. You know what I'm saying? Y'all make sure y'all tap in the Vinegar Hill. You know what I'm saying? They got a lot of dope content up there. You know what I'm saying? We always showing love, salute. You know what I'm saying? But on that note, we got a special guest up in the building with us. You know what I'm saying? We got Mr. Aye Yo Ave.
What's going on, man? That's the kid, Aye Yo Ave. What's going on with y'all?
What's happening, man?
TV land. What's going on with y'all fellas, man?
Shit, man, vibing on the highest vibration, bro.
Y'all good? That's what I like to hear. Third eyes open, right?
As always.
You know what I mean?
You know. So how you get the name?
Yes, sir.
So listen, man. You know what I mean? Growing up in New York, I'm originally from Harlem. You know what I mean? The Polo Grounds and all that, 155th, 8th Avenue. And I used to be outside all the time. You know what I mean? So, you know, typical project, exactly. Typical project kid. Out past the light time, you know what I'm saying, and all that shit. So my peoples used to have to yell outside for me all the time. and it was crazy because I grew up in a Spanish house, so you know whoever was in the house was the nigga that had to yell your name. It was your uncle, your cousin, your grandmother, your moms. So all I knew was that, hey yo, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? That's all they had to yell. Them niggas that yell, hey yo, and I know who the fuck they was trying to say to come into the house.
It's that tone, man. You recognize somebody's tone, man.
Right. It's that vibration.
Yeah. That ass whooping behind it.
Oh yeah, for sure. That shit that's coming, I gotta call you again.
I gotta call your ass again. You know the street lights has been on.
You know what I'm saying?
Keep your ass in the house.
I called you. You heard me, right? Yep. That, you know what I mean? So I just took that shit, something that I kind of grew up with, and you know, Av just kind of stuck. You know what I mean? I was thinking about different names, and you know what I mean? That was just one of the joints that I was like, all right, there's some shit I can hear. Yeah. You know, every rapper said in their DJ Clue voice. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? 808. You know what I mean? So how would a nigga say my name on that? So, you know, I kind of stuck with it from there.
That's a good catchy way to do it.
Yeah,
you know
bro.
Yeah. So that was something you had like growing up and it followed with you, and then you took it into your businesses that you're doing now. Yep.
So we you know, like I said, it was kind of something that kind of stuck with me. It was the nickname. So even when we kind of came to Virginia, it was still the Ayo shit was how we knew who was who and what was what. So you know, kind of just stuck with that joint, put it into the rap stuff, and people liked it. You know what I mean? I put it out in the world, and the world came back and was like, keep it. So that's what we did.
Catchy.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
how long was you in how long was you in New York before you came to Virginia?
So we came to Virginia in 2005, 2006, something like that, like right before my freshman year. So I was in New York from birth to 12 or 13. But you know, like
that's
I mean,
just like me too. I left
I'm
there
telling
like
you.
11, I think I left.
But you know what? Like, I mean, you probably know this too. Like, when you move anywhere and you from New York, you go back to the city every weekend. So for like
all the
2
holidays,
years,
Thanksgiving,
you're not missing shit. We up there. So for real, like the first 2 years, I was in New York every weekend. The summertime, I went back up there. So I wasn't in Virginia till maybe like 14, 15, while I wasn't going back.
Yeah,
and I was
just kind of stayed.
I was just out here
for a second.
Yeah, you know
Man,
what I mean?
that is, what is that, like 6-7 hours on the road?
Yeah, give or take. But we was doing, listen, 5.5, you know the expectation. By that time, you know the music selection. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So everybody knows what's going on with that joint.
You got 2 stops in the process.
Right,
you know
exactly.
The last one gonna get you there.
You know what I mean? I remember that joint. Niggas is gonna get to Baltimore. At Baltimore, you gonna get to Delaware. After Delaware, we get to
Yep, and then when I went
like
to Mom's and we
clockwork.
had to go to the Q, so I had to go a little bit
Right.
another 3 hours. I had to tax another 3 hours.
Going to Queens is over with.
Yeah.
It's over with.
Big facts. That's what's good. So which one did you take on first? Was it the beat making or was it the rapping?
It was definitely rapping. You know, I growing up in New York, we kind of grew up with a different sound. You know what I mean? 92.7
hip hop.
You know what I'm saying? 92.7 is what you know, was a stationary market piece here in Charlottesville.
Yeah.
But Hot 97 in New York, man, that was...
Yeah, you can't do no.
That was life.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? You woke up to that. You went to school to that. You was in class with it when you got out of school. When somebody was dropping a mixtape, that's what they was playing it on. So, you know.
That's lit. I forget about how big the radio stations was back then, or at least certain ones in certain areas. For us in New York, yeah, that shit was fucking huge because you got more than music. You got the commentary in between the shit, which is crazy too. Motherfuckers is tripping. They got a lot of good segments in between.
I mean, just the
hip-hop
people
mixes be crazy.
You know what I mean? The people that have been on radio. You know what I'm saying? Like them niggas in interview Oprah. After Oprah, you'll have O.J. Simpson. Like, just the stuff.
Then you'll have a nigga from the block who just happened to get through.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
You feel me? You got the cousin of the janitor in the building. You know what I mean? So that shit definitely diversified and you know, was rapping, just trying to be in the mix. When you younger, you always trying to do some shit with the older kids, and you know, you can't play basketball at 11 and 12, but you can talk your shit, so
I was balling.
you know what I mean? You was balling.
I was that nigga that had the big cousin who let me hoop because I was the little nigga that was alright on the court.
Right.
Yeah, you know you always got one that's alright
Word.
there, let come fuck with him.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact. So he was that nigga.
Yeah. Yeah. They ain't take it easy on me.
Nah, hell no.
Nah.
What you mean?
Yeah, nah.
Nigga, it's a rite of passage.
That shit was like prison ball.
No, I'm telling you. Nah, that's still what it is. Street ball is forever that. But, you know, like I said, just trying to get into the mix with my older cousins. Started rapping here and there. You know, little slight shit in high school. You know what I mean? Couple jumped on a nigga song. We had, remember LimeWire?
Yeah.
You could download LimeWire, put the recording art on that.
Bear share, Napster.
You know what I'm saying? Like, exactly. We come from that.
Come on, man.
You know what I mean? You can't even tell these young niggas about dial-up, let alone what the fuck that is. What is LimeWire?
Yeah.
What?
Oh,
that's how you give your computer AIDS, but it was worth it.
Yeah.
You had the Gucci mixtape when it dropped. You feel me?
And then you download Gucci, but you gotta go through 20 different Guccis to get the right Gucci. You know what I'm saying? You got to chop the screw, the fast one. This is somebody else's shit.
Alvin and the Chipmunks like shit. You be mad as shit. Like, what the fuck is
with
this?
Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Yeah.
Like,
that shit was fire.
This is not
annoying.
This is not in my kitchen.
I'm like, yo, I just wasted all this download space. I waited 20 minutes for this shit to be the wrong version.
Boy.
Some of them start letting you get little previews in between though. You know, you can listen, like once you get 30 seconds downloaded, you can listen to about 10,
But
20
you know
seconds.
what? Niggas got hip to that and they started only putting 30 seconds of the song on the download. Yep. You be mad as shit. You pull your CD out, that shit say 8 minutes. You like, bitch, I know it's 20 songs. You feel me?
Big facts. Big facts, yo. That shit crazy.
Yo, I'm telling you, bro.
Time change.
I'm telling you. This shit different.
So you was downloading beats from LimeWire?
Yeah, it was, I mean, anything that was jumping, you know, in that period in time, you know, Lil Wayne was probably the
How would you find the instrumentals around that time? Because I wasn't making beats around that time, and I really wasn't even thinking about rapping around that time. Besides throwing in a couple bars in songs that I heard that I felt like would sound better.
Right. To keep it real, niggas was on that word. That's a fact. Yeah. But honestly, bro, it wasn't even instrumentals. Like when we was young niggas, it was no money, it was no automatic download.
You just rapping over somebody else shit with the lyrics.
I was rapping when them niggas was rapping, trying to stay on tempo, trying to come up with witty shit to say. So you feel me? So it was just kind of doing it that way. You know what I mean? I remember one of the first, one of the best gifts I ever got. I was like probably 9 or 10, and my peoples got me the CD player. Remember the yellow shit, the
black and yellow
JVJ joint that didn't skip. One of them joints. Nigga, I went to the I got one of them shits for my birthday, and they took me to the boosters on the corner. You know what I'm saying? Them niggas had the Biggie and all that shit. I remember I got
That was the best.
Nigga, I'm telling you, I remember I got This Is the Remix that came out by Diddy and all them. That's that when them niggas had Mace and Shine.
I remember.
Bro.
What was on the cover like?
Yes. I got that shit. Nigga, I got Big Pun Joint, I got DMX, I got Ready to Die. All of them shits for like $20, and that's what I was listening to.
That was the best hustle, the best way to get. I don't give a fuck who got mad about that process. When I used to go back up to New York for the holidays, and I'd just go stock up on them motherfucking CDs.
Yo, I'm telling you.
3 for $10, 5 for $20. Like, however you want to do it.
You find an Aki at the end of the night,
and
you
I
got
want
$50.
the mix CD too with the new joint. Somebody put some work in on this joint. Oh, this just
sometimes you gotta pay
30, 40 songs on this joint.
Remember the $5 joints the niggas had reggaeton on? Yeah. You got some Puerto Rican shit on your joint. Hell yeah. Got some Dominican shit on that joint.
Like what?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pharrell beat you,
Yeah. That shit was saucy though. That shit make you listen into different shit because now it's on your shit. So you might have skipped it when you first was listening to the CD the first month.
Right.
But now you in the shower, you just got it playing, and now you done heard the damn song. Now you fuck with this shit a little bit.
That shit heavy. That's the first time. Shit, I mean, there wasn't nothing to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was when you listen to CDs front to back.
Yeah.
First song to 12th song. You know what I'm saying? You didn't want to be the nigga when you went to school that didn't know the words.
Facts.
You feel me? Like niggas was rapping that
shit. That's what kept me in tune so
keep
much.
It a bean. Yes, niggas.
Song come on, I gotta know the words.
Come on, man.
Hey, y'all heard that new Big Pun?
Right. Niggas is singing DMX bar for bar. You the only nigga in the joint that don't know.
Ain't rapping in unison.
Now.
When 50 came out,
niggas
learn
that
shit. School to get 50. Niggas was living school to get rich and die trying when that shit came out, nigga.
G-Unit, all that.
I ain't even gonna hold you. I'm a little bit ashamed of it now, but nigga, when them Reeboks drop,
the 50,
I
skipped school. Nigga, on my life, we left Albemarle High School. 2006, when he dropped them sneakers to go get them shits and come back to the high school with them bitches on.
Oh man.
Nigga.
Blue Yankee fitted.
G-Unit sneakers.
Nah, that's how that was playing in your head when you walked in the door, boy.
Nah, the worst part was trying to find the wife beaters with the big straps.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Finding the big strap white beaters.
Niggas ain't have no shoulders.
Yeah.
No, this nigga's lying. He had shoulders. He was 7 years old. This nigga was 14. Came to church like
niggas was built like Pop-Tarts, real shit. You know what I'm saying? Your wife beating shit falling off your shoulder, you embarrassed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You gotta get the extra small.
Bitches is like, pull that up. You're like, oh my bad.
When your shit gets saggy, nigga, it's time to wash your new one.
You okay? You feel big back then.
Yeah.
You don't give a fuck.
You be skinny as a
nobody tell you shit.
Little bird chest.
You did push-ups.
That was
50
me. Little bird chest. Put that shit away.
Yo, so back in that era, I say the CD that got me really, really serious about rap was Reasonable Doubt.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
100%. You know what? No. I'm gonna keep it real with you.
I ain't gonna say fuck no.
Yo, hold on. Yeah, go ahead, finish. Cause we gonna.
I won't gonna say fuck no, but like Reasonable Doubt was kind of forced on me. My big brother loved it, and that's when I followed my big bro. So whatever he did and he listened to, I fuck with. So that's really how Jay-Z even grew on me.
Yeah,
in the beginning, you know what I'm saying? So for me, I didn't. By shift, I was already fucking with music, but y'all can go ahead. Just a Reasonable Doubt. I know that's always almost like the first one for everybody. It took me straight back to when I was like 6, 7. My big bro.
I feel like that's definitely the energy. I know another joint for me was Illmatic. Like Nas wrote that shit before he was 21 years old. You know what was you doing at 18, 19? Not writing classic albums, nigga.
When you think about it, all of them niggas was young doing that shit.
Yeah, destroying shit.
Prodigy,
young, destroying shit, man.
All of them niggas, and we just thinking of people like just recent, not even the real pioneers.
I mean, like even
shit,
like you said, like Styles and Jadakiss was 17, 18.
Yeah,
Son, you know what I'm saying?
But
like
also
21, 22, bad boy.
But check this.
Wayne, 15, 14.
But check this: when you take it before that, you got like what we was talking about before. You got Fred Hampton and all of these niggas.
Yeah,
part of the Black movement. These niggas was only like 19, 20, 18. You know what I'm saying? Like getting young, sharp niggas in tune. You know what I'm saying? Like
it's the generational gap that continues. You know what I'm saying?
But now you look at these ages and it's like, all right, so now people like, what the fuck you supposed to be doing at that age?
Right. But
before it was kind of a flow, like a transition. Niggas was like pioneers standing on their toes into something, you know what I'm saying, in the music. niggas was young pioneering these lyrics. You know what I'm saying? Like we ain't about to go stand up forefront, but we about to pioneer these lyrics. Now it's like, what the fuck am I doing at 17, 18, 19?
Yeah, you know what I mean? You kind of fall into that trap of that too. Bro.
Now it's like you have to go through the system somehow. Like you don't know if you're gonna do it through hustling, robbing, tricking, somebody else's situation getting you in the mix. Like it's almost like that whole time frame is to duck that shit.
Right.
Literally.
I feel like we transitioning though. You know what I mean? When you talk about the artists and stuff that are coming out now, the way the genre of music is shifting. You feel me? Like,
wait, shifted it which way?
Oh, it's going back to being lyrically correct.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? If you look at.
You mean in the forefront?
Oh, front and back.
I believe it's going to be forced in the forefront because everybody has been forced to reflect. So like reflective music, things that reflect what you have been forced to do and what you went through, what you've learned. It's going to be what you want to hear.
Yeah,
you know what
I mean, take COVID into example. You know what I'm saying? Like people have had an opportunity to, you know, essentially, not to say it in a negative light, but a lot of people have had to sit back and deal with their demons. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. How many people you know that had a busy life purposely not to deal with shit that you don't have no choice but to live with now? You see what I'm saying? Man, I think it's organic. J. Cole, you know what I'm saying? Like when Cole came back, it's a whole energy shift.
See, I don't think that shit is organic.
But we hood niggas too. Like, don't get me wrong. I fuck with my Pop Smoke and my Pooh Shiesty. You feel me? So it's like.
But I don't even know.
I like both.
What you feel? What you think?
See, when you go into the industry, I look at the industry like Hollywood. You know, once you make a movie, you're a character. So once you're in the industry, you're a character. You know what I'm saying? Like.
So you don't think there's nobody in the industry that's independent? They thinking?
I think it's independent movements out here, but not a part of that industry. You know what I'm saying? They may like have small connections to it, but not on the high level where a lot of these big artists is at. That's walking around with the 50 chokers on. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know that shit heavy, my nigga. Like you only got about 5 to 10 minutes in that shit. Like. Them niggas be stretching it going for hours in that joint. And when you wearing that real shit, that shit heavy.
That's a fact.
That shit is heavy.
That's a fact.
I believe whatever the overall energy of the world is, the media tries to portray in their own way.
This is true.
So I believe with the spiritual awakenings, the spiritual people going through their reflections or whatever, self-developments, I believe that's why they would use it more like a pawn rather than something that they really want to do. You know what I mean? So like when Jesus walks, we can think of all kinds of, you know, Kirk Franklin was out here with Stomp and all of that. Like,
yeah, but also when you do the research on that shit, Kirk Franklin be with that pedophilia and that gay shit. That nigga used to wear lip gloss. If you look at his videos now, back then, you know what I'm saying?
That's kind of the point. That's kind of the point I'm making. They they used it as a pawn. Yeah. And then when they couldn't anymore, you ain't hear God's property since.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they brought around Arrested Development and all that time. Around that time, then it went out again. You know what I mean?
You had who is it? Mary was nice with it too.
Right.
You know, so it's like
Yolanda Adams, all of them.
They had a bunch of people. The bad part about the music industry is they extort you for your talent. Yes, people be talented. They be talented. They are talented people. Not everybody, but a good portion of them are talented. Right. And they get extorted for their talents, you know what I'm saying? Like, we get extorted in everyday life and out here moving around and doing business and shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, but it gets, for me, I like, when I think of mainstream artists, I know the routes. So I have a good grasp of the routes that they have to take, you know what I'm saying?
So you feel like essentially there's not enough real niggas to counteract what you think is...
Yeah, I think the real niggas is like Montana 300. These niggas that stay independent, that still doing their thing. They not in the industry, they just doing music, you know? So
you think niggas, so essentially niggas who are signed... I mean, indirectly, they got a boss. There's somebody that's there that conducts the way that they perform, the way they present themselves, shit like that. So I can see that perspective, but I feel like with this, like social media has created a platform and a situation where, like, when you separate the two of those, like somebody's ability to affect the situation has increased. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody like Beyonce, even though she might be signed to a label, she might be signed to something directly like that. That motherfucker got 50 million people that follow her. Like if she say something,
yeah, that's why they have control of you. That's why they control you, because they're giving that to you. They're giving you access to all of this power.
So social influence.
Yeah, so
that's what power is.
So I'm not gonna give you all of this influence and you just do and say what the fuck you wanna say. I have an agenda and you need to follow the flow if you wanna collect this bag. And most people that speak out and that do try to put information out there that's part of the system, they get labeled crazy or have some weird fuck shit going on with them.
right? This is true.
Or them niggas get killed.
I.e.
the fuck
Kanye
out, you
West.
know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? Nipsey Hussle, rest in peace to all the fallen. I feel you.
Yeah, they knocking niggas down.
Nah,
like,
for sure. For
like,
sure.
even the shit with Chinx Drugs, you know what I'm saying? Being connected to French and all of that shit. I don't know which way that shit supposed to spin, but
Nah, that nigga.
I got lost in the sauce. But look.
Hey, yo. My nigga said we not gonna edit.
Nah, we
not gonna edit, nigga.
over here. It is what it is.
That's a big fact.
So like
For sure.
So Reasonable Doubt did it for me. What was the CD that did it for you, either for beats or rapping? Like you was just like, oh, I got to get my shit tight.
I think I would say two people. So the first song I ever learned, so DMX is my number one
Dark and
all
Hell Is
time.
Hot, the first
Come
one.
on.
You know it, front and back.
Front and back.
Yeah.
I mean,
You know what I'm saying? Slipping or falling, I can't get up. I'm singing this at 10 with vigor in my soul,
let me
not
find,
understanding what
forgive
this
me.
means.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Take
Yo.
my, come on,
Yeah,
man.
You
Nah,
feel
yeah.
me? And then Illmatic.
Damien.
Illmatic was something that my pops was into music heavy, so like, I mean, he was into some industry shit. He did some producing stuff. He did like live music playing and shit like that. So
Yeah.
I guess essentially I was always around it, you know, indirectly. But I mean, Illmatic, when I heard, like, oh my goodness, man, it's like the equivalent when you hear white people say, "Yo, like first time I heard the Beatles." Like when I heard this shit, I knew New York State of Mind was the first song I ever learned verse for verse, like bar for bar. The first song ever. I'm 8 years old, and I know this joint when they come on the radio.
You wanna know what's funny?
Like it was
Some
crazy.
songs you have to be in the environment.
Yeah,
You have to be there
100%.
to understand it. Cause I was listening to
100%.
Stoned on Ocean Drive, that album that mixtape by Currency.
Right.
And I was on Ocean Drive. I was like, yo, this shit is the shit.
right.
Boy, oh my
telling
god,
you,
I was
right?
like, this dude feel like the beat. Like it all felt like that.
Right.
But that song, I can't give it the doo doo doo. I've never been to New York.
Right.
That's how I
see
guess
what
that's
you're
how it
saying.
is. Why it's hard for me to get with some of the West Coast songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like I enjoy their music. I'm not saying like it's bad, but it's not my vibration.
It's
You
a,
know what I'm
it's a
saying?
certain energy it give off.
It
Like,
does,
it's a-
yeah.
Yeah.
It's about what you're accustomed to too. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, you know, essentially East Coast is really just starting to get onto West Coast stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Because East Coast was so embedded in it, just started here. So
Yeah,
it's like, you
exactly.
know, why we're gonna shift all the way over
Exactly.
there when it just started here?
and it's
in the Bronx,
I mean,
like,
music. Well, rap in general, our genre of music,
Yeah.
like that's the most competitive form that you'll see.
You ain't lying.
It's constant. It's always an argument. It's always, you know, people getting into the industry trying to solidify themselves.
I think it's
To be in conversations. I like it. Imagine at the end of our tenure when we done with doing what we doing, them niggas mention your name with Jay-Z and Tupac
It's
and
happening.
Nas. They mention it. You know what I'm saying? You in contention with what they're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Like nowhere else is that the revelation. Not in rock and roll. Like nothing. You know what I mean? It's systematic spots where people are just who they are. Elvis is who he is. Mike is who he was. Like rap, constantly. Every year is supposed to be somebody different.
Rap spills into other genres.
Yep. I mean, rap
to rock and roll.
Rap
pop.
directly affects culture. Period.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's no culture universally or universe, whatever the fuck that word is right now.
You
But
hit it.
you know what I'm saying? But like Everywhere. Whatever happens in rap, whatever we talk about, whatever we're into, whatever we're promoting or processing, that shit becomes the norm that you see in society.
What happens is we call it rap, but even if we change the name, it's just us. Culturally, we are it.
You feel
so
me?
I know that's hard to take in sometimes for some people. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
But like, I meant like it couldn't be any more obvious. You know what I'm saying? From the business ventures, you know what I'm saying, to the history stolen, to the swag now, to y'all having to create ebonics because we want to talk our own way and not taking that shit, you know what I'm saying, English language from Europe.
Shit's
like
crazy.
Like the whole process, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, whatever the fuck we want to do. If we want to change that shit on and say, okay, we're gonna take over country, we're gonna take that shit the fuck over. Yeah, I see what we doing. We dabble in that area too.
Right.
They'd be like, no, we need something for us. Like, damn, okay.
Yo, you get it, then they move it so you never keep it up enough.
Yeah,
that's how it works.
Y'all can keep moving that shit, but the thing is, we create it. So you can move these pancakes, but I'm about to make some more, so it don't matter.
You come get some of these too.
You feel about these? I put some bacon and eggs with it too. Turkey bacon.
Pussy. Fuck out of here. What are you talking about? New York.
Yeah. Y'all see, I'm Virginia over here. Y'all see, New York. This is the type.
Cause
we hopping back in. We on.
Yeah,
bingo.
This the type of camaraderie that we need in Virginia. These brothers just met.
Yeah.
You see how they with it,
It's
bro.
the same tribe. You know what I'm saying?
That's it, bro.
It's the same tribe, different parts. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is.
That's it, yo.
We gotta start changing our
The same
perspective.
shit. Yeah, it's constant growth in that situation.
Yeah, that shit crazy. That shit crazy.
I mean, the social awareness that you see now, bro, like the step it's taken in the black community is monumental. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Look at our vice president, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like a black woman. Come on, man.
See, I don't like to look at them, but I like to look at us. Look at us and how much more where we are. You know what I'm saying? So whether we want to believe we whatever with them, look at us and how more where we are. You know what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying. I do like the ideology surrounding the fact that there's something of power they can see, because you know historically, I mean, go to Egypt, the reason that they destroyed the Sphinx nose. You know what I'm saying? Like the reason that they've done everything that they can to.
But do you believe we get into these people that look like us get into these places organically?
I do, because there's situations where the proper option hasn't been chosen.
So I guess with that,
like let me ask you this, before, not to cut you off. Do you think that in our lifetime we really was gonna see an Obama? Keep it real. I did not think we was gonna see a black president. I didn't. That's you talking about 200-300 years of having.
I can say,
but
I don't think it was a situation where they was just like, all right, it's time for them to have one.
I can say this.
That was organic. That was the way the world was moving.
I have been so used to not getting anything they gave me, I took. Because I expected him to do more for people that look like me.
Big facts.
Anything.
Yeah.
So
keeping it real.
He came in office and he passed gay rights.
Yeah.
Gay people can get married, and that was a big ass thing, and he ain't do nothing for people that really look like us besides give us some cell phones. Because Obamacare is expensive, so
listen, we'd have to do a whole different segment.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we are. Matter of fact, we about to take it back. Bro. Matter of fact, we're gonna cut to this break and we're gonna slide right back to y'all. Yo, peace. We back from the break. You know what I'm saying? Back. So what we about to get into now is kind of a continuation of our last subject. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you know what I'm saying?
You.
He about to give us a little spill on, you know, the Obama's administration.
There we go.
So how you feel about that whole thing? I know we was kind of touching base on it and
so we
digging a little bit.
You know, we tapped into, you know, your perspective on thinking that there should have been a little bit more done for colored people or people of color. You know, but you got to look at it from a perspective of, you know, was this somebody who needed to first of all, did he have enough time to adjust the social injustice aspect of being black in America? 8 years is not enough time for, you know, to try to reconstruct 300-400 years of slavery and all the other stuff that we've been subjected to. So the perspective on that is like the Fair Housing Acts that he put out. You know what I'm saying? The Obamacare.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The way that he decimated Medicare in the sense of making it not affordable for people of color or low income area families to participate in that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's for 8 years.
So what about the people who don't go to the hospital that don't need Obamacare?
That don't need Obamacare? Like who? Like us that don't need Obamacare?
Yeah, like I don't go to the hospital.
Why don't you go to the hospital?
I'm pretty healthy.
I think he's asking a sentiment like, what about the people who don't need these policies that he passed generally that almost anybody can access?
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
I didn't go to the hospital his 8-year term that he was in office to use any of it.
So do you have any family members that are older than you that have Obamacare? That need...
No, my mom was talking to me about it, and she was just kind of saying it was a little bit too expensive. They had to go somewhere else.
So if you look at the atypical family, right, or the atypical age, you know what I mean? Like, you know, America's broken up into sections of 18 to 24, 24 to 28. Predominantly, like, all the stuff that happened through the Bush administration and shit like that, and then leading up to Obama's administration, like, what that nigga did for the stock market, like the way that he increased the stock market, and how much percentages of stuff was going up, and how much money started to get spent in America after that 8-year span that we had no money coming in. Like,
When
it's
we
so
had
many...
when we had no money, wasn't the gas high as fuck?
You talking like petroleum?
Yeah, I remember the gas being extremely high around that time.
But that's like... So it would have to come with pros and cons, right? So like one thing has to go up, so one thing has to go down. But like my conversation piece, or like the aspect I always get confused on when we have conversations like this is like, what expectations did we have, and like what wasn't met? Because it's always a broad conversation. Oh yeah, I got you, my boy.
My fault.
No, you good, G. But you know what I'm saying, like, what expectations did we have as a black community for that man to reach that weren't met?
I think the expectation was for him to have some kind of effect in people of color households. So it wasn't really no effect. So when he went to an office, a lot of people of color didn't feel no effect of him going into the office. You know what I'm saying? Like something immediately, if you in one of these positions, it's like, why do I have to wait all these years to do something for these people? You know what I'm saying? I could give them, hey, all right, this section of these areas around these projects or these areas, you know, it don't always have to be those kind of areas because niggas populate more areas than that. I'm just using that as an example. You know what I'm saying? Look, these ones are going to be all black business owners. You know what I'm saying? I'll get all the black business owners. Hey, y'all can have this shop center right here. You know what I'm saying? It was nothing that touched people immediately.
Obama was creating like 700,000 new jobs a year for those 8 years.
What jobs was opened?
What do you mean?
Like the news always throw out numbers. So what new jobs were available?
I mean, like
that
medical,
wasn't available.
So like medical staffing spots. Like there's actually a place in Puerto Rico that's responsible for, I think either 90 or 95% of something medical that America uses, right? So like he created different spaces for those type of things to be open. I don't know the specifics, but like you said, I'm big into analytics. You know what I mean? Like you have to be able to. I'm somebody that you have to show data to. You know what I'm saying? So like I gotta see what is it that you're talking about that's increased, decreased, taxes. It's all a matter of perspective about what you think is important when you're talking about political aspects. Some people take religion into perspective.
And for me, it was, I expected someone in that position of perceived leadership to speak for his people or speak on his people more. It seemed like he generally spoke, very well, presented very well. play basketball, smoke cigarettes, listen to rap. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, everything to soften you. But he just spoke generally. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
so you feel like he didn't speak on black issues enough?
I'm not.
It ain't really
almost
speaking
like
on it. When you're in that position, you should be doing. It's not when you like.
He was pushing. Hold on, not to cut you off.
Yeah,
but
go
like,
ahead.
he was pushing the DAs of all these places where we were seeing these black people being killed to prosecute the police.
It was the most
like
public cop shootings when
on.
he was in office. It was the most publicly. They've been going on for years, but it was the most publicly during his terms. We're seeing them shits every other week.
Do you think that was a form of terrorism? Or do you think that's something that was plotted and presented to be something that would go on during his tenure?
I think if I'm...
Because I think you know, black men die at a rate of endangered species, right?
Man,
like,
that's because we populate this motherfucker. I'm not gonna fuck with that here. We fucking here first. We take all that shit.
Wow.
But me,
that's that warrior spirit shit. That's all God, see? That's all God, man. That nigga's here with it. He got Haitian in here somewhere. I know. Listen. He got some Caribbean in him. You see this shit?
Yeah. I be trying to.
This is life coming out. Listen,
bro.
I'm already.
But like, if I was in that position, bro, I would like. It won't have to be no Black Panther. I would just get all my brothers and sisters. Yo, y'all gotta protect yourselves. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna personally give y'all guns, but here I'll construct something for y'all to be able to protect y'all. So white people got neighborhood watches, shit. Y'all look.
Let me ask you this question too. How much influence do you think the president really directly has on what goes on?
0.
I'm 100% on this nigga body too.
0.
I don't think he has any. He's the face of an agenda.
Yeah.
We all understand that.
Yeah.
But there's certain actions that you can attach his name to that get people in the proper spaces who can make the proper changes.
Now,
you feel me?
And that's one thing I would have wanted what Trak is saying. I would have wanted that. In sentiment, I expected what I said. I expected him to at least get up and say something. Yeah. But in reality, I know what you said. He is a puppet. You get what I mean?
Like 100%. I'm 100% neutral with this stance.
We all are.
It's like there was definitely more shit I wanted to see from Obama on our behalf. I definitely wanted that nigga to wild out and go back to the motherland and really flip out on niggas and really shit around. Like everybody wanted that light skinned nigga to be on that type of time.
Or he could have got us organized over here.
The sentiment is still there. There was still a black man or a perceived full black man, however people want to feel about it, in a high position of power or the highest perceived position of power in America.
Yeah.
So that does do something to my psyche as someone who looks like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. But for us, we know how to dig a little deeper, so that's when we got to get people more aware, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's why we have these open perspective conversations, you know what I'm saying?
Open-ended conversations.
Yeah, that's what they be. It don't be a battle. They open perspective conversations for listeners, you know what I'm saying? Like, we having to just emphasize, you know what I'm saying? We don't be trying to direct nobody, you know what I'm saying? It's like we just here to make you think.
We not here to convert atheists into believers. I'm just trying to say the way school need teachers, the way Catholic need to read, that's the way I need Jesus. Hey. That's the Yeezy I want back. I know you left Kim, my nigga. Listen, get your shit together. We ready for you to come back to the black community. Cause you wildin'. When that nigga put that Trump shit on, that shit broke my heart, son. I was like, yo, we lost this nigga, bro.
The Trump shit didn't bother me. It was the shit when he started fucking with Kim. Like, that's you already knew what time it was.
He's a weird nigga,
why would you take that path? Like, I'm a type of nigga, even though I'm not his big, I still didn't like fucking bitches behind niggas. Especially niggas that I knew. Right. You know what I'm saying? And this bitch done been everywhere. This Ray J joint, all the niggas done been all up in this joint. You just like, you know what? Here, I'm about to go lay down in this for a little while.
Listen.
I love her. Everything's fake, but I love her.
Hey, man.
Listen, bro. Everybody going through their vices, man. You know that nigga lost his mother.
Yeah.
He was going through some shit. That nigga.
I think he knew his mother was a sacrifice because he mentioned some shit about that shit. They had a video about that shit. So.
Oh yeah, that's all over the internet.
Yeah. So.
He said that.
And y'all believe that Illuminati shit is real?
I believe in secret societies.
I do believe that there's
5%ers
out there and they control 95% of the revenue, and them niggas make decisions.
Hell yeah, the biggest families. It's like 4 or 5 of them, I want to say.
People don't realize
niggas that own Walmart. You feel me? Like
people don't realize that they do rituals daily.
Yeah, and we do too, but we aren't aware.
That's what I'm talking. I'm talking about everyday people, like something as simple as lighting a candle.
I talking about them because they do.
Yeah, that's they do rituals because they have the knowledge.
That's what Jesus said. Word.
But yeah, man, they just have the knowledge and specifics and know how to apply it, and they have groups who can concentrate the energy. Yeah, and that's why it's a secret, because they can pull together what they want and what they need off of their energy.
That's a fact.
And that's why they don't have to do physical slavery anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like they still have to a certain extent, because you still got warriors out here. I done took my battle through that process. You know, some know how to maneuver their shits differently, but like that whole thing, like you follow the money. Who you think is in charge isn't always in charge. You know what I'm saying? Word. So that's why when there's people that's on big levels, I'm always 50-50. You know what I'm saying? So that's always a toss up for me. So when did you start digging in? You know what I'm saying? Like start doing some background searching yourself.
I'd probably say 20. Like 19, 20, when I really kind of got away from home. You know what I'm saying? Like I told, we was talking off camera. You know what I mean? I know him, bro, over here, Mr. Bliss, you know what I'm saying?
Blizzy.
You heard?
Hey, you.
You know what I mean? I knew my man for, over 10 plus now, and, just meeting him in that type of environment and having that same understanding, like, we was all in church, you feel me? So my thought process was constructed to be a certain way. You know what I mean? I was being put in a position to process information inappropriately. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So when I was old enough,
good way of wording it.
You feel me? So like, no, you good. But like, when that transition happened, I was able to get away from it, and I understood that spirituality was more important than religion. You know what I'm saying? I feel like religion divides people, but spirituality and having a common understanding in whatever power you represent brings people together. You feel me? So I processed it like that, and then I wanted to get into what was I'm like 6 or 7 different nationalities. You know what I'm saying? So being from New York, it's a melting pot. So I wanted to get into what's my Puerto Rican side, my Indian side, my Guyanese, Jamaican, Haitian, you know what I'm saying? Like Cuban. I wanted to get into what was all of that, what we came from.
When you said Indians, what is your ideology of Indians?
So my Indians is from South in Asia. It's like the continent India. So they speak Tamil. My grandfather's from like southern India. So like that Indian, not Native.
So yours make more sense. Yeah. You said that right. For me, I know as far as I could go back, we aborigines there now. We could be somewhere else, but as far as I could go back,
I think black people here in America already.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah,
like Africans were. This was already here.
We were.
You didn't bring 1 million people over in boats. That shit isn't even economically correct. Like
not a million.
It would cost
not
too
a million
much.
niggas like me.
You feel me? Like
you gonna lose a lot of niggas in the process. I'm gonna go, but best believe, like
you heard,
Daddy, won't be home. Like
God knew who not to put here in conscience.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like. Certain niggas was not structured to be alive during those time periods.
That's what I was saying. I felt like my spirit was supposed to be here at this time. It was time.
You know how much we not going for shit right now? In this generation, in this day and age, like niggas is not going. Dear racism, we are not our grandparents. You understand? That shit is not. We ain't let shit slide because it's not baseball. You feel me? Like, come on, man.
You sliding, I'ma knee your ass. You're out of there. Look, you're out of there. I played baseball too, motherfucker.
Look, nigga with a how do you get? Fuck you talking about? Like, listen, man, that's not what this is, bro. You feel me? This is not that.
Big facts, yo. Yeah, that shit is.
I just wanted to dig into that. I got siblings and different things like that. Like, my immediate
that's
family.
deep. We all should be looking into our historical background because a lot of us don't, because we feel like it don't fucking matter. You know what I'm saying? And the more I did, the more it mattered, motherfucker. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
and a lot of us don't have perspective on how or where to start digging. Like, how and where did you start digging?
So I got in touch with my grandmother. Yeah. I got in touch with my grandmother on my mother's side, and then my grandfather and my aunts and stuff on my father's side.
That's why they disconnect us. Reach to your motherfucking elders and your ancestors, man.
Them the people who got the answers, yo. Directly pointed me to everywhere I needed to go. You know what I'm saying? So I talk to my family that's in India now. I talk to my family that's in South America now. I got family in Germany. I got family in like Istanbul. I got them all over. You feel me? So they helped me kind of piece my stuff together. I also went on Ancestry, got the little swab test or whatever. That joint is hella accurate too. Like,
I don't trust them motherfuckers.
For real?
I heard a lot of bad shit about them.
Listen,
track that he gonna get cloned if he finishes.
Nah, I don't even think about getting cloned.
I'm picking on them.
Nah, they do the cloning shit, but I don't think it's gonna come
nigga, that's
from there.
the real Kodak.
I just don't believe
that's Kodak Black. That's no drugs. That's no bullshit. For 2-3 years, that's what that nigga would look like when he healthy.
So how you feel about Gucci?
That's the same nigga. Gucci was in jail for like 4 years, bro. No drugs.
He did 3.
My nigga, 3. My fault.
No. My man did 3. That's why he combating that joke. He like,
Gucci
his jaw structure.
Gucci did 3. That nigga.
Bro, listen.
This nigga's heads don't change. If you did 3 years, I would not expect your head to change, nigga. If your head changed from doing time, bro, I'm gonna think something happened. Somebody probably beat the shit out your ass in there and they was doing surgery and that bitch. Like, why the fuck is your head shaking?
Hey yo. Trust me. I knew he was going to that. Trust me. We've had this debate like 4 times.
That's crazy.
I know niggas who go in and they tighten up and they get healthier, because I was one of them people that went in there and they got healthier and got better. And I know other people that go through and they get sharper and keener, you know what I'm saying? But
now I would tell you the process. But
when
lifestyle.
you a real nigga, you don't change.
I understand, but listen, process his lifestyle. All that money, all the drugs he was on. This every day.
No. Gucci was already running everything already. People make it seem like this nigga had no control over what he was doing when he was already running everything and people wanted him to sign and he wasn't. He was independent, had Atlanta on smash. Everybody, even all the other artists that wasn't signed, was trying to get to Gucci to fuck with him. Right. He had Atlanta on smash. Who else had Atlanta on smash the way Gucci had it in the streets? It was a couple other niggas who had it like signed and had some things, but not like Gucci nigga.
I think he's talking about like interpersonally, like within himself. Of course, he had smashed on the outside, but this nigga called like he.
I'm talking about he was running. He had people on payroll. He was running businesses
without question.
Right. With a smart nigga.
Yeah. So what would be the difference? Why would your head change because you go to jail? Like, I understand the weight. I understand
the weight
people. I don't talk about the weight.
Information, drugs, all that.
It could be all that.
Man,
shit.
I was around a bunch of addicts who was on drugs longer than this nigga.
Were they rich addicts? Because that's a rich addict, my nigga. You feel what I'm saying? Like that lifestyle is different,
it's always going to be a different perspective to combat it. But I just keep the open perspective that when niggas do time in prison, your head shape doesn't change. I don't give a fuck what you do. Your head shape doesn't change. You can lose all the weight you want to lose. You can remove tattoos. You can do all that shit. You can even say, this jawline and it's different, which the shit is different.
Listen, I disagree. I disagree that humanity has evolved enough to learn how to create life. I don't agree with that. Only God creates life.
Nah, they already got the sheep. You ain't look at the sheep. They already cloned the sheep.
I have to see this.
That was in like 96.
Yeah, they've been cloning. Well, you gotta know about the Tuskegee experiments?
Of course.
So all of that goes. They was all them experiments. They was running all this weird shit all around the same time.
I thought it's
So we can't believe in one and then not believe in the other one, and then they got, you can Google and YouTube, they got clone dogs, like people paying for like these little special, you know, make like fucking rich dogs. Like
you believe in like the Anunnaki and all that shit too? Okay, so
I fuck with Young Pharaoh.
Yeah, say less.
Yeah. Shout out Young Pharaoh. I do that every time.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out Young Pharaoh.
Fuck with Young Pharaoh. Yeah. Well, on that note, we're gonna cut to this break and we're gonna slide back to y'all.
Yo, we back from the break.
What up?
Y'all know how we doing this last one, man. We
Peace,
get
God.
into this spiritual development, this self-development, your religious beliefs, man. Where you land on that? Did you like? Well, we already talked about it. We started in the church.
Yeah. So I definitely I had a crazy path. So my father was actually Rastafarian. My mother was raised Catholic, so like grew up in a Catholic church, all that. We moved to Virginia. She got into, going to church and shit like that. So she got into Christianity. After that joint, I kind of was on that path. You got to do what you doing when you're in her crib. So I was going to church. Bro, it was Monday Mass, Wednesday Bible studies, Sunday service.
Sunday plays. We was up in,
I wrote a song 3-4 times a week.
I wrote a song.
Yeah, bro.
Nah, we was in there.
We need that copyright too. You wrote that. Make sure he plugs in. Send it over. My publishing. Get that shit back. The composition of the idea.
Big facts.
But you know what I mean? I got into that joint, and then like I said, when I got on my own, man, I just really developed the understanding of spirituality, duality, understanding the third eye, you know what I mean? Reading into what an indigo child is, understanding the dimension.
How was that for you though, being young and having like both?
I think, following Christianity. I mean, I still consider myself a Christian. You know what I mean? I believe that Jesus is the Lord and Savior. And that's how you go through him to gain eternal life. But my understanding of the broader perspective of what brings us together, what has that proper understanding. You know what I'm saying? So just kind of dived into that. And then, the greatest thing about it is that when you choose to go in that direction, everything starts to reveal itself to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was organic. It wasn't even a situation where I was like reading into more shit. Like it just adapted into more understanding.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when you find that type of peace, bro, like I started meditating. I'm up to like 30 minutes now. You know what I'm saying? But I've been doing that for like the last 12 months. Just understanding chakra, understanding the energies that you have. Like, I was just interested in wanting to understand what my body does. You know what I'm saying? Like, I played football, all that shit. Went to college, was studying physiology. Like, I always wanted to know what my body could do. And I was like, bro, if you unlock the mental space in that understanding, forget it, bro. Imagine if you 100% tapped into your thought process.
Yeah.
The freedom, the understanding, the perseverance, the will, all the shit that's directed to you, it's over with. You get that mental grasp, so that kind of pushed me in that direction religiously or spiritually or whatever word or connotation you would like to use.
Yeah.
I think it's an open world. I don't give a fuck if you gotta pray to the ceiling. If that keeps you whole and healthy and makes you stop doing bad shit to people, you do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Love everybody, support everything, you know what I mean? Yeah, you're not gonna get past this shit without love, bro.
So when you stepped out of church and stepped into the journey of finding your own understanding, like, was there any push and pull, like, damn, this is my ideology, or this is what I've been thinking,
Oh,
told to
100%,
believe?
every day.
Yeah.
I mean, you still have a combative process.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, growth is continuous until you're dead. You feel me? So
Exactly. That's big. I tell people that.
Processing that understanding and being able to elevate to that level of thinking, you gotta be subjective and submit yourself to all understanding and information that you get. Yeah. Good, bad, ugly, right, wrong, or indifferent. You know what I'm saying? It never, like, one thing that always bothered me, we was in church, bro, was like nothing ever had like a full ending. It was always like left to subjective shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, how come the rules are so finite, and if you do this, you sin, you die, and then everything else was like, shit happens. I'm like, bro, that's, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of open-ended shit. that we read. You know, no disrespect. So a lot of open-ended stuff in the Bible.
I'm taking.
That's what you feel me? Like,
yeah.
I'll answer.
You
I
feel like you.
I feel like
This is my nigga right here. Everything. Hey, yo. Shout out to Tracks, my nigga. Hey, what's understood don't need to be explained. You heard?
Big facts.
I always felt like
Big facts.
I always felt like once that paper came around, once that tray came around, that envelope came around, I was like, damn, I'm paying for hope. Like, cause like you said, it's always open ended. It's never an
It
answer.
feels forced though when the plate comes around though. It don't feel like it's an option. They tell you, oh, it's an option. But why do I feel guilty if I don't?
It turns into an expectation.
It's almost like, hey, if I don't want to give, don't pull up in the church. And then it's like, oh, now you kicking me out the building.
Everybody energy different.
I'm like, fuck.
I feel like there's certain people who are,
but I done gave. I'll give. Not
No,
100%.
100%.
When I was in the church and shit.
I feel like there's people who are ordained to talk about prosperity and that understanding, but it's like people need direction, people need guidance, people need to understand the self-understanding. They need worldly issues dealt with. You know what I'm saying? So like, if you're not multiverse or multicultural, I have to question if this is the walk that you're supposed to have. You feel what I'm saying? Like, why we always talking about increase, but we're not talking about how to get it and how to obtain it? What about my self-health? What about my mental health? What about, nigga, the shit I gotta deal with every day?
Won't people look into, you know, why pastors and, you know, churches don't have to pay taxes? You know? Just dig in. Then you can figure out where you can relocate your own church at and have your own church service at your house. You know what I'm saying? Like, that way you can start feeling a little bit more comfortable. You're not combating all these different little spirits and energies around you that's gossiping, whispering, doing good, doing bad,
the Bible,
sleeping, you know what I'm saying?
The Bible says church is in you, not on you. Yeah. It's not where you at, it's what you doing with yourself. Yeah. You have church right now if you want to, wherever you at.
Exactly. We doing it right now. Service.
Church.
Hey, you know what we doing?
What was your walk like? What was your transition? Because I know, you know, I mean, my mother was like rap, you know what I'm saying? Like secular. That was a big issue with me.
That was my transition. Rap.
Word.
I was rapping, bro, and I got to hear myself while I was being quiet. I got to hear what I thought I was and what I thought, and I was like, wait a minute.
Man, I look crazy. It's ashes and shit not because
that's how the game go.
Yeah.
I was like,
you on.
We big smoking. Yeah.
I was taking pieces of everybody's identity that I admired to create my own identity. And it was making stuff happen in my life where I was almost losing my life, losing my freedom. Like, I literally could hear the music, then I could see situations. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I was like, oh shit, like I really do dictate my life. Right. So I just started changing that shit. Because my life was dark. It was terrible. My childhood was dark. Word. So that's why I was like, oh, I can change this. I can control this. Because I'm living what I say. I'm like, oh shit, okay. Because this ain't me.
So music brought that to life for you?
Yeah, man. I got to hear what I was like, damn, I thought I sounded different, but I sound like this. Right. Yeah. Damn, I don't know if I like the way I sound. Damn, do I like myself? Like, you know what I mean? Going through all of that shit, yo. And yeah, that's when I became deeply self-aware because I was already conscious. I've been conscious since I was like
But you never was really putting your image out there like that, just like...
I didn't have one. I didn't know my father, you know what I mean? Like my mom, when she was young, when she was like 15, she was out here moving around trying to make a way. Right. You know, my grandma had skin lupus. She wasn't comfortable with her identity. Grandfather always working and he was alcoholic, you know what I mean? Won't nobody
in my world, I felt like, and now that I'm older, I realize different, but I felt like my mom was too comfortable with her identity. You know what I'm saying? Everything was always done up to the max. You better not mess up shit. You better not do this. You better keep this shit fresh. You better look. Let me iron your clothes. Because you know when creases used to be, and I used to have my shit creased.
Right in the middle, boy. Right where the shin at.
I'm telling you, boy.
That's all you focused on is the goddamn looks. You know what I'm saying? Now I be cool, comfortable. You know what I'm saying? I don't have that much emphasis. That made me take emphasis off of that shit. I do that with my kids, though, bro.
Like I'm definitely guilty of that.
And me and Trak was talking about that off camera. It's just like my mom had me young. Like she more than likely was not emotionally developed, and that translated into me. You know what I mean? So that's something that I work on, like emotionally developing myself every single day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Yeah, I think the good thing is that we all aware of the shit and we all constantly working on it. And like he said, you know what I'm saying, we that's a learning and growing process until the day we die, because each time you change a level, you know what I'm saying, your vehicle operates different. So like right now, I could go to jumping Sky Zone with my daughter and jump, but I'd be nervous jumping. I don't even do backflips the way I used to no more. You know what I'm saying? I'd be nervous about doing it. Just like the thought of risking my life that way when my vehicle is, I still could if I just believed in myself. It's not like I'm out of shape, but just like I just don't want to risk it the same way no more. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all remember Drop Zone at King's Dominion? Boy, I used to run to that shit. I ain't trying to touch that joint nowadays, boy. No sir.
I looked at my son like, nigga, you crazy?
Yeah.
Get on what?
Let's go.
How fast it go? But you know what? I'm that daredevil shit too. I'm with this shit.
I do it.
I don't give a fuck how I feel inside.
Yeah, exactly.
That shit ain't gonna stop this 1 and 2 going left, right. Goddamn it!
Yeah.
I'm going forward.
What happens is you get used to fighting that little feeling and the little butterflies all the time. You like, yeah, I'm ready for this shit.
That shit gonna be there anyway.
Yeah, I know.
Fuck it. Fuck it. Yeah, exactly. That's how I think it. Fuck it. Let's go. I ain't gonna let you outdo me.
That's what that shit was there for. Right?
That's the shit that got me caught up until I, you know, I'm thinking about it. Because everything used to be fuck it.
I can't remember a time where pride was a positive attribute to have.
Nah.
I mean, biblically, spiritually, in real life scenario. How many times did y'all niggas not walk away from some shit you could have let go?
Pride,
you know what I'm saying?
Pride is good when you are going through like an embarrassing moment and you have to go through it.
Elaborate. That's deep.
So like,
that's fire. You heard that
so
shit?
like, say you get exposed or somebody do something or you did something, you know what I'm saying? It's just a mad embarrassing moment. Like, shit, it don't matter. Like, say you recording or somewhere, you performing somewhere, since we talking about music, you know what I'm saying? And you fall off the stage, you know what I'm saying? Just on some cornball shit, just some fluke shit, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's not gonna work for that though.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, but you gotta kind of hold your pride together, you know what I'm saying, and try to thug it through, cause you know you already gonna get clowned for the shit. So now you at a fucking weird gray area space, you know what I'm saying? What you gonna do? You gonna slide, you know what I'm saying, and just go to the back, or you gonna suck that shit up, you know what I'm saying? Keep performing if you not injured, you know what I'm saying? And fucked up. Like,
boy, that remind me of this time that I performed. Me and my boy P performed, man. I switched the song. It was a talent show. It was a family talent show. We did a song called Spaz Out. Oh, man. That was
the family function.
We was like 16, 17. He took his shirt off.
He was saucy.
Nigga, 16, 17, you think you the shit. You saying it like you young, nigga. I thought I was the shit at 16, 17.
I got off the stage, bruh. It was literally 1 to 2 people clapping, yo. Everybody was just looking like, I was like, I was walking down the stairs. Hey, lady was like, "Spaz out, really?" I left immediately.
That shit is
straight to the door, boy.
That nigga said, "Exit stage left."
Yo,
I'm out of here. This way.
Literally, yo. That's
and I know you from where? Elementary school.
Not you again. Go that way.
Listen, classic shit.
That's one of them times that pride did me good, boy.
Yo, I understand that.
Nah,
remember the rap shit I did at church? Nigga, that shit was crazy.
Man, I did some rap shit all that shit that we did in the police and all of that. I was a character called Sweet Willie Lump Lump.
I don't remember.
Oh my God. You called my little brother Lump Lump.
No.
He's a
nigga, my first rap song was at 12 or 13. That's crazy. We gonna cancel, edit that out.
Nah. Tell him about this.
We ain't gonna edit.
He keeps saying that shit like it's gonna be edited. We're gonna be watching this nigga just gonna be like, yeah, edit that shit out. This is gonna be looking at the nigga just keep talking like.
So good. For me, I'ma know this way it's supposed to.
Yeah.
You gonna check out mentally. So like, once you started,
it's the gas.
Oh my God, boy! Don't even talk about
pressure.
So once you started,
that nigga came out here. That shit was wild.
Once you started going down your spiritual path and you start getting your footing in it, like what type of things did you start? What type of changes did you start noticing within yourself?
You know, so I started burning sage. You know what I mean? I got a deeper understanding of that.
Fuck with the sage.
White sage, all that stuff. Started getting into the crystals. You know what I mean? Changing the amethyst, different shit like that. You know, got into yoga, just different shit to get more in tune with my body. You know what I'm saying? I learned about, you know, the importance of lineage in your system. You know what I'm saying?
What is that? What is that?
Just linear passages. So, you know, you talk, you know, about your third eyes in the middle of your forehead. You know what I'm saying? Then you got, you know, the center energy that you have. And just systematically the way that it works.
Okay.
You know, proprioception, you know, strengthening your feet down from your feet, pushing through your body, you know, different shit like that. You know, so just trying to get in tune with it, you know what I mean? So physically I got in tune with it.
You know about them 7 chakras?
You know what I'm saying? I'm still on that, see? I'm still on my journey. That's why it's deep right here with the energy, bro. Like, I need to learn everything I can. I'm just getting on it, you know what I'm saying? So, like, progressively, like I said.
You on it. I think of it like when you say that, think of it like Finding Nemo. You seen Finding Nemo?
Right.
When the turtles go on their little thing and they start taking off.
Nigga, my son was like 6. You know how many times you had to watch that? Wait till that come, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like when the movies get to kicking in and it's like, oh, Backyardigans is what we on.
His daughter 5 right now.
Yeah.
So he all on that.
Princess, and all that shit.
Congratulations, this is our first time hearing about it. Hold it down.
Yeah, daddy duties is
take care of the kids.
Shit is real,
So what did being a father do for your self-development?
Man, I think for me it gave me a sense of responsibility. The way I met my child's mother is crazy too. Like, we worked together, and I actually used to be a teacher at one of the Christian academies out here.
Oh shit, that's what's good.
You know what I'm saying? I was like 18, 19, right before I went off to school and shit. And I actually taught my son before I knew his mother. I was teaching like pre-K and first grade.
Alright.
So I had like 4 or 5 years. Yeah, we was teaching how to read and write and shit like that. Man, it was crazy. But I met her, and she had a kid already, right? So this is my stepson, but that's my heart. You feel me? But you know what I'm saying? So like, I actually taught him for like 6 months and never knew who his mother was. So I fell in love with a little boy. I never met his moms because I didn't know who she was. I got off early. She used to work till closing. One night I had to work till closing. She came to pick him up. I was like, yo, this is your son? She was like, yeah. So like, from then on, that was it. But it just makes you responsible. You know, I was raised in a single parent home. I got 3 younger siblings. I got 2 older stepbrothers. So, you know, my family was kind of constructed to be under that understanding, and you know, I kind of was always a father figure. You know what I'm saying? When you got siblings that are younger than you, you always a dad and somebody, especially
siblings.
You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Listen,
like
we working on it. We about to start putting our names on it, but you feel me? So like, I always been a father, you know, so that was kind of embedded in me. And then when I saw the opportunity to love this little boy who didn't have his father around, I felt like I was watching myself. You feel me? So it make you click in the space.
Almost to a certain extent. Because it's not your blood, so you know it's not all the way you. So you feel like certain things, like, damn, I know you would.
You feel me? Right.
I'm still working with you.
That's how it works, man.
I was a stepdad for 3 years.
Listen,
I know.
Just to see the progression.
Somebody else put a baby on me. I took care of for 10 months. They tried to fucking do some weird shit.
That was your baby, though?
And tried to take me to court for child support, and I got the DNA. Baby
That's how you
mine.
found out.
But I took care of the baby for 10 months. That was somebody else's baby. It's not my baby. But I did take, but my ex before, she had a little one. I met him when he was 3. That's when I got with her. You know what I'm saying? I took care of him till he was 6. But not literally stepping in as a stepdad, but like, just, you know, like explaining myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I'm here for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I'm not daddy.
Yeah, man, that's important, man. Like, even when I was younger, in my early 20s, man, even in my teenagers, I've never been the type of person to deal with a female if part of my obligation was to be that figure. Right. Because I wasn't ready for that. You know what I mean?
So how do you feel?
That's cool that you was aware of that, too.
Yeah, because I didn't have my father.
That's a reality.
That is. That is, because my sperm donor wasn't around, you know what I'm saying? He dabbled and dabbled a little bit.
I feel you.
And
So
shit.
I had my father till we moved from New York. You know what I'm saying? We got out of touch. He had to move back to South America. So from 12 to 24, I ain't know nothing about this man. You know what I'm saying? So like, we just started to rekindle our relationship with each other. It's going great and it's blessed. You feel me? But you know what I'm saying? Like I was a man the next time I saw you. I went from a little boy to a grown man, and then you know what I mean.
Yeah, y'all still had a lot of respect for each other because y'all got to build a relationship, so that's pretty 100%.
Dope. I mean, people don't have that opportunity. If I got it,
I tried to give that opportunity to my sperm donor, and he kind of took advantage of it, and he wasn't really smart about the situation at all.
It's all
you know
nice,
what I'm saying?
You got brothers here, my nigga.
Yeah, so I know what's up with the universe. You know what I'm saying? I don't lean on that shit. He was a vessel that had to come through. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, you know what I'm saying? But it's been a dope ass episode of the Godcast, you know?
For sure.
Y'all definitely make sure y'all stay in tune. We got motherfucking Aye Yo Ave in the motherfucking building with us, you know what I'm saying?
You heard? You're fuck all that.
Yeah, where they can find you at, what you got coming up?
Sorry about the gas. Listen, so I got.
No, that's the Godcast.
You know what I'm saying? But I got some projects coming out. You can find me on Instagram at AYE_YO_AVE. That's Aye Yo Ave. You can follow me on there. I got some stuff on SoundCloud and Dat Piff right now. Got an EP coming out 4/20/21. Mark that shit down. Yes, it's coming out on 4/20. So make sure you get you a big fat blunt, you heard? Pause. You know what I mean? And get in tune, man. I'm dropping an EP, 5-piece joint.
Style.
Got some music videos coming out. I'm for sure gonna come back and get on this Godcast, you know what I'm saying? This is an entire vibe right here. So you can find me on them platforms and just get in tune, man. We got a lot of stuff coming out. Make sure you subscribe, all that stuff. I'm on YouTube. AYEYOAVE. It's Aye Yo.
Hey yo,
y'all niggas going on my deep. Yo, that's gonna be the mixtape drop.
Big fact. You heard? You know what I'm saying? That's what we doing. We creators out here. You know what I'm saying? We vibing. We putting open perspective out there. You know what I'm saying? Y'all definitely make sure y'all tap into Vinegar Hill. I don't want to
Vinegar Hill.
Vinegar Hill. You know what I'm saying?
It's been
another dope one. You know what I'm saying? We got Cheno Bliss in the building with us as always. I'm your boy TrakBeatz, and we signing out.
It's Aye Yo, nigga.
Yeah.